As usual, 90% of the people who watch the videos aren't subscribed. Please subscribe. Thank you very much. Enjoy the video. Bye. Alright, the first effect we're going to be looking at today is called S_shake. Now, this is used in literally every montage. So I can't stress enough how important Sapphire plugins are when you're making montages, because there's so many effects that are used from Sapphire. Like, this is probably one of the most important effects in like the Fortnite montages that you watch. It gives it so much movement, so much impact on the kill. But if you don't already know how to use it, you just want to search it in the search bar. It's under distort if you doesn't come up when you're searching. Drag it onto your clip, then find where you get the kill. You can use arrow keys to go back and forth. And then what I like to do is I like to use the ammo to see when I get the kill. So when the ammo drops, there you go, 3 to 2. So you're just going to go 1 before the ammo drops. You want to go to effect controls up here, and then keyframe the amplitude and put it to 0. And then go 1 across from that. And then I like to use 0.5. And then what you want to do is you want to change the frequency to 3. And you want to scroll down to X shake, turn that off. Y shake, turn that off. And tilt shake, and turn that off. And then tilt wave amp and put that to 3. And this is what this looks like. And then what you want to do is you want to go over to the keyframe again. Go towards the end of the clip. And then put this to 0 and make a third keyframe. And this is what it should look like altogether. It's really subtle but really nice. That's not the only way you can use shake though. For example, a lot of people like to have shake go throughout the whole clip. And this is like a really easy way to do it. All you want to do is go to amplitude 0.2, frequency 0.1, and just don't keyframe anything and just leave it throughout the whole clip. And it's just sort of like really subtle throughout the clip. You don't need to change the X shake, Y shake, and Z shake and tilt shake for this one. You can leave this all default and just have it going on throughout the clip. So anyway, on to the next effect. The next effect that I want to show is probably a lesser known effect, and it's not used quite as often as most of the other effects that I show, but it's called S_duotone. It's actually a really useful effect, and I've used it a few times in montages. I used it once in a highlights video, and basically what it does is it just creates 2 tones. Now, when you do this, you do need to pick out colours that work well together. You can obviously search it up, but the best colours for this is yellow and purple, just because they work so well together. So if you just make yellow and purple, like this, and like that already looks really nice. You can obviously do like red and, I don't know what goes well with red, like red and black or something, if you're trying to do that sort of style, if you're doing a darker style. But yeah, you can obviously do this. It works really well for transitions. This isn't really much of an effect that you'd actually put on your clip other than for like a transition or something, but I'll show you what it looks like if you do it on the kill, because I have done that before. So if we do the keyframe thing as we usually do, and then you just want to come down, so you change these colors. If you accidentally put purple on the top and yellow on the bottom, just click invert, but obviously you don't want it to look like that. You want it to look like this. And then click mix with source, put that to 100, keyframe it 1 frame before the kill, then go a frame ahead. And then put this lower. It's up to you how low you do it. I'm going to go to 0.3, I think. Or 0.2 because I'm too lazy to. And then go a little bit further on, keyframe it back to 100. Back to full mix with source. So this is what it should look like. This probably isn't the best effect to put on its own. You really want this with a like a LUT and all of that sort of stuff, as well as like probably shake, blur, all of that sort of stuff on it at the same time, because this is quite a heavy effect. And you really need other effects to sort of make it fit in a little bit more, because this on its own just it's too polarizing for the whole video just to have it on its own. But where this is mainly used is in transition, so I'm going to grab another clip and show you how to use it in a transition. Okay, so now I've got a second clip right in front of it. I'm going to show you how to use duotone as a transition. So what you want to do is you just want to go to the assembly tab up in the top, and then you want to go down to this little page looking thing. It says new item, click on it, and then click on adjustment layer. Press OK, and then come over to the side where there'll be like a black adjustment layer. Drag it on in between the clips and go about 15 frames each way, left and right. So like that, 15, and then the same the other way. Using the arrow keys as usual, as you could probably hear. It was quite loud. And then you just want to add duotone to the adjustment layer. Like this. And obviously it's up to you what colours you use. I'm going to use yellow and purple again, just because I like yellow and purple. I think they're really nice colours. I think they go together really well. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so now it's on. At the start of the adjustment layer, you want to keyframe it and have it at 100 or at 1, so it's maximum, so it's completely mixed with the source. There's no effect showing. Then you want to go to the center, right in between the clips, right where the clips change over, and then you put this to the lowest you want it. I'm going to go to 0.2. I don't want to go all the way down because I think it looks a little bit weird. And then go to the very end of the adjustment layer and then put it back up to 1 again. And this is what it looks like. So there you go. It's sort of like a little transition. You would add other things. I would add a blur as well. But yeah, I'll probably add a blur, maybe a little shake. You know, if you don't have it on its own as a transition a lot of the time. A blur, a shake, a pan crop, you know, that sort of thing. This isn't the sort of transition that you just whack on. You sort of have to add stuff to it. But this is the base for a transition, for example. And it's actually a really nice looking effect if you can get it right. Anyway, on to the next effect. All right, the next effect we're going to look at is called S_blur mode curves. So what you want to do, you just want to search it up. It's under blur and sharpen if you can't find it. You just want to drag it onto your clip. This is basically a pan crop effect. So it works the same as the scale effect, but it also gives it a blur, like a sort of motion blur, which is, you know, a little bit nicer than just scaling your clip up and down. So I'm just going to show you how to sort of do a little screen pump on the kill with blur mode curves and just show you sort of why you prefer the blur. Okay, so to do that, you just want to find where you get the kill. So where the ammo goes down as usual using the arrow keys. And then where the ammo goes down, you just want to keyframe the Z distance. And I like to put it to about 0.9. And then you just want to go about 8 frames before the kill. So 8 frames. And then put this back up to 1 again and keyframe it there. And then I like to go all the way to the end of the clip. But with my pan crops, I never like to put it back to 100 by the end of the clip. I like to keep it sort of near 100%, so about 0.98. So it's still a little bit zoomed in when you get to the end of the clip, so it sort of looks like it's really slow, sort of thing. And then what you want to do is you want to come down to shutter duration, and you just want to increase that to about 3, because I like having it quite blurry. And then you want to increase it to 1.5, because I like having it a little bit more blurry than it is by default. And then that's basically all you need to do. There's a lot of other things you can play around with, but this is the basics of using blur mode curves. So let's have a look at it. So yeah, it's just a screen pump, but with a little bit of blur on it. You know, sort of a little bit of motion blur. Looks really nice. You can obviously ease the keyframes if you want. So I'll show you how to do that. You just want to click on the second keyframe, right click on it, and then click on the continuous bezier, and then come over to the left where you see the little arrow, drop it down. And you have this all this confusing stuff here. So all you want to do, you just want to come in here, and then you just want to drag this little arm here over here, and it will sort of push it and slow it down. So it goes quickly and slowly, and then sort of stays in there for a second before coming back out again. So this just looks a little bit cleaner than without the bezier. So I'll just show you what it looks like now. So yeah, that's basically how to use blur mode curves at sort of a default. You can obviously use it as a pan crop transition, but I'm not going to show that right now. I think you can sort of figure that one out. But it's basically just the same as doing this, you know? But anyway, on to the next effect. The next effect, and one of my favorites, is S_film damage. I use this in literally every single montage that I make. Not usually highlights videos, but montages. You can use it in a highlights video. I'm going to show you roughly what people do as well with it. So S_film damage, it's under stylize if you can't find it. Just drag it onto your clip. And it's going to look quite messy at the moment, with loads of stuff on it, and you can obviously keep it like this if you want. Now, this is why it's so good. There's so many options you can have, so many different things you can do with it. My favorite thing to do is to just decrease everything, put it all to 0, but leave the dust density on about 10. This is my favorite thing to do. Put everything on 0, and this is what I usually do with it when I'm putting it in a montage. Everything 0. You can leave the seed. The seed doesn't matter. And then you just want to go to dust density, and then under it says dust details, and just click that down. And you've got all of this. What I like to do is put the dust color to white and dust color 2 to white. And now you sort of have like little bits flying around. You can increase the dust density a bit, maybe to 15. And then just have a look at all the white bits flying around. It looks really nice. One cup for the night, got me fucked up, too bad. It's quite unnoticeable, so if you want to make it more noticeable, increase the dust density until you think you can see them enough. But another thing you can also do with it is by clicking on vary dust color, which is another thing I like to do. Just increase this. Just increase it a little bit until you like the look of it. You can already see what it's doing. It's changing all the dust colors, and it sort of looks more like confetti, which is something that I really like to do. So let's just watch it through and you can see. One cup for the night, got me fucked up, too. So yeah, there's loads of confetti on there. So basically, the way you can actually make this effect sort of useful rather than just having it on your clip the whole time is through a build-up and an effect on the kill. So the build-up, what I like to do for the build-up is I like to keyframe just the dust density, and I like to have it be white instead of coloured. So we're just going to change the vary dust density to 0. And we're going to go to dust density, put that to 0 and keyframe it a little bit before the kill as a build-up. And then we're going to go towards the kill, and then 1 frame before the kill, we're going to increase it to about 50. And then on the kill, we're going to put it to 0 again. And it sort of builds up with loads of dust. This is what it should look like right now. For the night, got me fucked on too. But that's not all you want to do because it's not very noticeable. What you also want to do is you want to add a black and white effect. To do that, just go into Lumetri color. And then drag this on. And just go to the same keyframe that you start doing the dust density. And then go to basic correction. And then to saturation, keyframe it on 100 on the first keyframe. And then go to the next keyframe. And then go down and keyframe it really low. I want to go to 20. And then 1 frame ahead and put it back to 100 again. And it makes the dust more noticeable. So there you see, the dust is so much more noticeable than it was before because they're black and white. And it's just a nice little build up. And you can obviously put an effect on the kill. I'm not going to put an effect on the kill. I don't really need to. I'm only showing this sort of bit right here. But yeah, this is what this looks like as a build up. For the night, got me fucked on too bad, so it looks quite nice. But then, as I said a second ago, you can also have it as an effect on the kill. So to do that, all you want to do is basically just move the keyframes. So just delete this one and then swap these two around like this. And you have it go from 0 to 50, and then you can go a little bit later on and then put it back to like 10 again so that it sort of still stays there afterwards. And when I'm doing the effect on the kill, I like to have the dust color varied because I think it makes it a little bit more noticeable. So this is what it should look like as an effect. So yeah, it's not the most noticeable effect, but when you have loads of effects on it, looks really nice. I've done it in a few montages. In my Sapphire montage, which was my first proper attempt at a montage on After Effects. If you look at the first and I think second kill, they have the sort of like a confetti sort of explosion thing, and then I keep the confetti going on throughout the whole thing. But yeah, that was S_film damage, and we'll go on to the next effect now. Alright, the final effect that we're going to look at today is S_flicker. Now, this effect is used quite a lot in a lot of montages. LMGK uses it a lot on his highlights video, you know, when he does the kill and he has the little flicker in the background. It's also used quite a bit in the backgrounds of montages, just going along the whole way. So I'm going to show you how to do both of those things right now. So basically, just drag it onto the clip. And then we're going to have it in the background of our clip, so it's just going to be going on the whole time. And it's not going to be too noticeable, but it's going to be noticeable enough, if that makes sense. So I like to just decrease the amplitude to 0.1. And then increase the frequency to 50. And that's all you have to do for it to sort of be in the background and be a little bit noticeable. So I'll show you. 1 cup for the night, got me fucked on 2. So there you go. That's it sort of just in the background. You can decrease it a little bit if you want. So amplitude to say 0.07. 1 cup for the night, got me fucked on 2. Yeah, and then you just sort of have it in the background like that a little bit. What you can do if you want, if you don't like the randomness, what you can do is you can turn off the random frequency and then increase the wave amp and the wave frequency. Maybe not that much. Maybe leave the wave amp at 0.5 and then just have a look. 1 cup for the night, got me fucked on 2 bad. So yeah, it's a little bit more consistent than the random one, but I sort of prefer the random one personally. But yeah, this is what this looks like. So now we're going to show you how to do it on the kill, a bit like LMGK does. So this is basically the same thing, but just with keyframes. So you just want to go 1 frame before the kill, put the amplitude to 0, keyframe it, and then put that amplitude to about 0.2. And then just keyframe it along towards the end and put it back to 0 again at the end. And this is what it looks like. Now you would put this with other effects. A lot of the effects on this you do have to put with other effects if you're putting them on the kill. You can't just have an effect on its own, but that's what's so good about them. All these effects that I've shown, you can put every single one of them on the same clip, and it will make the clip look really nice. So yeah, that is basically how to use Sapphire. There's five effects that I thought you might want to use in the Sapphire. If you want another video just like this, 5 more effects from Sapphire, then just let me know in the comments, like the video, you know, subscribe. And if you want 5 effects from BCC or 5 effects from something else, then let me know. Or if you want 5 effects without plugins, I've already done 7 effects without plugins, but if you want 5 more, then go ahead and just let me know in the comments what you want, and I'll be happy to make videos on them. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.